Did I scare you? It's the Halloween episode.
It's not the Halloween episode. That's not that's not what we're doing. Gavian, you silly Billy. Everybody.
That was my ghoulish
The real
ghoulish
fear
trick.
is Gavian's lung cancer. Welcome everybody to.
I'm gonna get lung cancer in real life in
Don't
like
get lung
2 years, and then this
cancer.
will be really sad. We're gonna look back at this and be like,
Yeah.
wow, that was really sad.
It's really sad. Wow, this episode's really sad. Welcome
Yeah.
back to the 2 Minute Spicy Puffs fancast, the first podcast that is a fancast of itself, teaching all the nin believers and non-compoops that you are allowed to have a fancast of yourself, and honestly, you deserve to have a fancast, even if you have to record it and publish it by yourself, because there's not enough self-love in this world, and we're here to spread that positivity with an hour of fangirling and geeking over 2 Minute Spicy Puffs.
I thought it was really cool how that one episode where Luna decided to do a fan cast of her own podcast. It was really creative and original.
That was a really great podcast, because if that didn't exist, then this episode wouldn't even exist either. But I mean, you're right. This is a really great episode.
Yeah,
it's starting off to a great start. Gavian screamed for a little bit, like he always does. I love that classic Gavian extreme noise to begin every episode of 2 Minute Spicy Puffs. It's a classic. It's a staple.
One of these days, I'm gonna soundproof my entire room and scream for reals.
I'm really excited to see, because every time he brings out even the big guns with every single scream he does. He really kicks it up a notch with every sound he makes. The last one I think the last one was like, and now it's like, it's crazy. The versatility
it really
of the
evolved.
screams.
Really evolved my medium.
It's really evolved, and I'm really looking forward to how it evolves in the future. But that's the segment of the podcast where we talk about the first segment of the podcast. Next is the second segment of the podcast where we talk about how awesome and
awesome.
I'm getting a news report. Turns out that I tweeted just today. It says, hey guys, trying to record a 2 Minute Spicy Puffs episode today. My dad just popped in and did finger guns at me, so I hope that doesn't change anything. But stay tuned for some more goofs and geeking and fangirling and fanboying and fanning and geeking and fan-geeking and geek-boying and geek-girling. 0/2, and then there's a reply to it that says geeking and gooking and goo and geeky bee ba ba
Geek girl. Geek girls versus geek guys. Ultimate battle.
Why do geek girls love geek guys? Well, it's because they have so much in common. Then there's a 2/2 because that's the end of the thread. Wow, beautiful. And Gavian, you're in charge of the Gavian news. What, you have any reports?
At work, like I think it was yesterday, there was like a gecko by the trash compactor, and I caught it and I put it outside.
Do you think that could have been Gavian?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's possible.
Small world out there. You never know when you might find a 2 Minute Spicy Puffs co-host or fan. Or both.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the world, is sometimes there's puffs out there.
Sometimes there's 2 Minute Spicy Puffs, sometimes there's 3 Minute Spicy Puffs, and you just kind of have to be like, not as efficient as 3 Minute Spicy Puffs. No, I mean...
That's like a 33% reduction in spicy puff manufacturing rate.
Yeah, the thing is...
Wait, that's a 50... No, 50. That's a 50%. I fucked up.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, you can only make 2 3 Minute Spicy Puffs in the time that it takes to make 3 2 Minute Spicy Puffs, and that's just I could be eating so many more Spicy Puffs if I'm just...
It's really unacceptable, if I have to be honest. Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of opinion, because some people like the masterful craftery of the 3 Minute Spicy Puffs, And some people like the efficiency of the 1 minute spicy puffs, and we're just in the middle being like, hey, 2 minute spicy puffs, they're pretty good too.
This is the balanced spicy puffs.
It's a balance for sure. And I think it balances efficiency and quality in a way that I think it's the best option for like a dinner party. Are you okay, Gavin?
I agree, man.
Did you fall down and hurt your knee?
Sometimes there's a slurm episode.
Sometimes there's a slurm episode, and let's talk about that slurm episode.
There's that part where they go to the slurm factory and
I remember
Futurama.
I remember that, and I mean that's the slurm episode of Futurama. Every show has a slurm episode. It's just a matter of what episode of 2 Minute Spicy Puffs is going to be a slurm episode, and it's coming around the corner, guys.
Yes.
I feel like at any point there might be a slurm episode in the mix. We just don't know when it's going to be. We're as in the dark as you are. All we can do is speculate.
It really depends on if there's an appearance, like someone else joins the thing and starts talking. That's the slurm indicator, man.
The slurm indicator is maybe because we don't know when we're gonna do a slurm episode, but there might be a guy who comes in and says, "I'm the agent, and I need you guys to make a slurm episode because slurm rates are going up, and you guys are going down, and we gotta get you guys up with a slurm episode of your own." That might happen, and we gotta be prepared for all the punches that life gives us.
You might need a gun.
We might need a gun. When are we gonna get a gun? Such a great idea.
You have to fill out a form, and they have to fill out another form, and then you have to pee in a cup.
I feel like I finished that step a couple times in my life, but I never get to keep the cup. I mean, like, why don't you just? Why can't I just pee once?
If you had to pee in a cup for something for a urine sample, and if you ask the doctor if you can keep the cup.
Keep the cup. Why not? I'm just gonna have to get them to test my pee at a later date. Why don't I just keep the pee?
No, like they're just gonna put it in a test tube, so I don't know what the problem is for giving the cup back to me after they're done with it.
Yeah, just give me the cup. I mean, there's a little bit of DNA. You don't need all of it.
Yeah.
You're greedy.
Don't be selfish.
Don't be such a greedy doctor and take all my pee. I need some of that. I need to put some of that back into my penis. To stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's what like Bear Grylls. He kind of did it in a weird way where he kind of just drank it, but the real way was to put it back the way it came. I mean,
yeah, you're a doctor. You should know that.
Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Gavin. He just got his doctorate. He just got his PhD. He's a doctor now. And
can I say like a little doctor advice for all the boys and girls and Smurls out there?
Go ahead. And Smurls is obviously the third gender that there is.
Yeah. Yeah. I would know because I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you wash your bum. If you don't, I'm gonna take it away from you.
That is such. Honestly, I often catch myself not washing my bum. I'm having a dirty bum. I'm having to wash my bum and having to wash my bum. And then I'm just like, get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself, bozo. You gotta clean your bum. Your bum does a little bit dirty. You gotta put some soap and water in it. You're in the shower. You gotta clean your bum.
Gotta buy a nozzle.
Go for it. Just like stop putting it up for tomorrow. Stop putting it up for tomorrow and just go for it.
Just like you don't even have to go to the store. You can just go to like on Amazon or like Newegg and just like look up butthole nozzle and you can get one for like $10.
There are a lot of different ways to clean your bum. One of the most popular ways, TP, or as in toilet paper.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I hope you guys don't mind the kind of professional lingo that we were using about TP.
Another really popular way to clean your bum, B.
Yeah.
As in bite it. Joe bite it, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they made a bite it.
The only president I'm voting for is
the
Joe
only president
Biden.
You can wash your bum with.
I mean, Joe Biden's got to have a clean bum. He can't have a dirty bum. He's the president. He can't.
Yeah.
And what? Even Donald Trump, even every single anybody has to have a clean bum if they're
Except for President Number Zero, who is a guy named Smells McGee.
President Caveman. Yeah,
President Caveman.
they didn't have the technology back then. That's their
Yeah.
excuse. I mean, it just goes to show because that president only lived for one day, and he got president the day he was born, and he died. He died.
Yeah.
That's just because of how dirty his bum was, and they didn't have so many presidents after
Yeah.
that until George Washington
Yeah.
had a he had a I mean wow he had so much soap.
Yeah.
He was like his bum so clean.
Everyone thinks that the country's been around for 246 years, but it's actually been around for 7 million years.
It's actually been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah. There was an Adam president like 7 billion years ago.
It was President Quarkson.
Yeah.
His name was Quark Kent, and he had the cleanest little neutrinos you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
You can see your dang reflection in there if it was possible to reflect light off such a small surface.
If you were like a tiny little like fucking I don't know what a particle is smaller than I mean they're all point particles but point masses.
One
but
of the presidents was a string from string theory.
Yeah, I think there was a president who was a string like 5,000 years ago. He was just a piece of string.
I think that was
a piece of hemp string.
That was like in the year -1 billion since dinosaur.
Yeah, when the dinosaurs made all that hemp string.
All of that hemp string.
To tie their shoes.
Tie their shoes. Nothing. No weed. They don't smoke a weed. What are we talking about?
Let's roll. Let's roll it.
Let's roll a little bit back and say.
Let's roll on the floor for a little bit.
Gavian, you're a doctor. Can I have some advice, please? This is a Dr. Gavian advice corner.
Eat a pineapple.
I don't want to do that, and I
do it right now. Go to this, leave, get away from your computer. We can pause the podcast, go to the store, and get a pineapple.
I'm at the store. Where do I get a pineapple? This is like this is a yellow spiky fruit with leaves coming out at the top.
Yeah, it's called a crown. I would know because I'm a doctor.
Wow, you're a dentist.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm that too. Anyway, if you see it, you gotta put your hands around it.
I'm touching it really gently.
Okay, now go take it to a guy named Carl. He's the cashier. Go talk to Carl.
He's being mean to me, Gavian. He's saying you cannot buy that because that is not real and it is just a picture.
I think we might have messed up here. Let's go back. Is it a 3D object that you're holding, or is it just a picture?
I don't know. I can only see in 2D because I have an eye patch on because I'm a pirate.
Well, take a bite. Does it taste like paper or yummy?
Oh my god, I feel so much healthier. Thank you, Dr. Gavian.
I think I might have messed up. I might have given bad advice because I think now you might go to jail.
Oh no, the police! The police!
Because you didn't pay for it.
They're saying you can't do that, and I'm saying, but I didn't eat the whole pineapple. I don't know, what is your problem here, buddy? It's okay to eat grapes. Oh, they're leaving.
Okay, I think that is like a very common legal defense, and they can't fucking do anything. They turn into evaporation.
Yeah.
If you say that.
All you have to do if you're shoplifting, if you're shoplifting at like a giant plasma TV,
just take a bite out of it.
Just take a bite out of it and run away. And you're like, you can do that to grape. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good way. I think that's a good way to eliminate all police. Is you can just go to the police station and just do that to their stuff, and you can say that, and they all die.
Just take a bite out of the police force, and they die because they can't get themselves back. Take a bite out of their soul, and they can't do anything.
Yeah,
that's a cool idea. Thank you for so much advice, Gavian. Dr. Gavian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Should I call you Dr. Gavian?
Call me Gavian PhD, please.
Okay, Gavian PhD. And what is that? What does that stand for? Penis has diseases.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Very cool. And I'm a, I've been learning a little bit of hobbies myself. I'm a wood carver now.
I think that we should um
Okay.
I just completely unrelated. I just
All
had a
right.
good idea. I think we should have a fourth, like you know how we have a first and middle name, middle and last name. I think there should be like a first, second,
I have
third,
three
and
middle
last
names
name.
in my name.
Oh yeah, I think that is actually already a thing. There's like several names.
It's just a bunch of middle names. You can just have a billion middle names.
Oh yeah, I did. Well, I think I don't know. Anyway.
Don't you remember? What was it? Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Who
Gerard
can
Way's
forget
daughter.
about
Gerard Way actually. Did you know that Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance actually did have a daughter and named her that?
I don't believe
It
it.
was she was already
I'm
born by the
Ripley.
time a fanfic
Oh.
came out. It was a biopic.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I thought Gerard was. I don't know. I forget.
He's a
Gerard,
he's a garter
the
snake.
Finnish Carter's name.
So that's why his name is Jimmy Carter. That's why Jimmy Carter's name is that, because he's a garter snake,
Yeah.
and his daughter's
Jim.
name is Peanut from Peanuts.
What would you do? What would you do if you had a wife and your knife? I mean, okay.
Start over.
Okay, what if you had a wife and like you had a kid and you were like you like came up with a name, you called your kid like Frank,
Okay.
and then you call it and you do that for a while, and then like you like see like a official document about your kid, like like their legal name for something, like say like you were about to enroll them into like kindergarten,
Yeah.
and you saw their name was actually Peanut this whole time, and your wife changed it behind your back.
I would say this family's nuts.
They're just like your kid and your wife. There's no one else.
This
Everyone else
family's
on
nuts. I just keep saying that until somebody laughs, and this family's nuts. Hey, divorce guy, don't you think this family is so nuts? Because
Oh yeah, there is a guy that it does live in your house who's not like it's just called divorce guy.
his name is Mr. Divorce, and he's a neighbor who lives inside the basement.
Yeah,
He doesn't even think it's funny.
he's called that because he loves divorces.
He loves to divorce. This is one of his favorite pastimes.
Yeah, he finds venerable young women to marry and then divorces them.
He
Oh no, he's
finds
bisexual.
he's
He marries anyone.
he anyone he can divorce, he'll marry.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I wish I could be more like him.
Do you think it's beneficial in any way to marry someone and then
Wait.
immediately divorce them? Do you think?
Hold on. Hold on. I just got a text from divorce guy. I need to read this for a sec. You just keep
Oh
talking. I'm just
my
gonna read
god,
this.
is this a guest appearance? Oh, I wish there was more guest appearances in 2 Minute Spicy
No, no,
Post.
no.
That's such
I'm
a
just reading it.
it's
Hold
such
on.
an
Okay, I'm just
endearing
gonna read it now.
it's such an endearing thing when guests make guest appearances on 2 Minute Spicy Puffs. It happened with Big Chungus. It happened with Bob the Builder. I'm just doing it in alphabetical order. It happened with Charlie and the Chipmunks.
Oh my goodness, dude, Luna.
Yeah, what?
Divorce woman just came out as trans.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm very happy for her. Anyway.
Wow. I think whatever. I think no matter what, even if gay marriage gets delegalized, I think gay divorce should be
Like so they still had it so people that were already gay married could still get gay divorced.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, that like if they outlaw gay marriage again, do they just automatically get divorced, or like can they not even get divorced anymore because they don't even recognize they're just permanent?
I don't know.
It's like fucking.
Well, I mean, it's not illegal to stay married. It's just illegal to get married. So
Oh, yeah.
so I don't know. I have a feeling there'd be a lot of PSAs from the government on Pride Month about how like, don't worry guys, even though you are gay, we will still accept you and let you get divorced.
Yeah, every single phone in the country, like like how it's like like Amber Alert, they get like an Amber Alert to their phone that's saying they can stay to gay married.
Don't worry guys, you can stay gay married and you can even divorce. This family's nuts, am I right, guys?
And you can hear all of every single person in America who's watching this video clapping. Everyone in Canada though doesn't
No one can hear it
hear
from
it.
Canada. Too far away.
Yes, yes, too far away.
They don't know what's going on in America. It's just too far away. They can't see. They can't read news about America because they can't see that far.
Yeah, even
They don't
with
have
binoculars,
they
even
don't
with
have
telescopes,
they
they
don't
can't
have good enough
see.
eyesight to see the news from America.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think this is a good time as any to talk about our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by 2 Minute Spicy Puffs, and they gave us money to talk about their products. And
Yeah, it
basically,
costs a lot of money to pay them to do this.
2 Minute Spicy Puffs. Yeah, we gave them a lot of money to
It was like
sponsor us.
$5,000.
Yeah, we gave them like
At least we got
$5,000.
$5,000 out of it.
But I mean, it's good. We're $5,000 richer.
I know
It's a win-win. We get to
it's
sponsor.
definitely.
We get to sponsor their product, and they get to sponsor our product. But yeah, just saying, 2 Minute Spicy Puffs is a podcast, and they talk about all kinds of stuff. Sometimes they talk about dumb things. Sometimes they talk about stupid shit that no one cares about. Sometimes they don't even talk. They just
It's even like
they
a gamer
forget
podcast. Sometimes they even talk about like all the popular games.
popular games.
If you want a gamer focused podcast, go check out the second episode. It's really good
Yeah, but
for gamers.
first and foremost, if you want a 2 Minute Spicy Puffs focused podcast, you should check out 2 Minute Spicy Puffs. It's a 2 Minute Spicy Puffs focused podcast that's all about 2 Minute Spicy Puffs and enjoying 2 Minute Spicy Puffs to its fullest. And
Oh yeah, I think
sometimes they forget that they're
Yeah.
recording a podcast and they just fucking go to sleep. And then they come back and it was a beautiful dream.
yeah. Hold on, let me like do like a pinch and see if let's just make sure that we're not doing that. Let's just figure that out. Okay.
It's so
Here it
funny when
goes.
Gavian escapes the dream and then comes back
Oh,
back.
I'm bleeding.
Oh,
I
we
did
got
it
a
too
Gavian
hard.
bleeding moment. We got a Gavian bleeding.
I pinched too hard.
It's the
Oh god.
Gavian. Oh my god! Check it out. It's the Gavian bleeding siren. That's the
Oh,
siren
no.
that plays when Gavian blood has been detected outside of the Gavian vessel. Oh, here come the guys. 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 There they go. They're taking him away. They're taking him away. They're taking Gavian away. They're gonna take him away. Oh, there he goes.
Tell my family.
He's on the boat. He's on the boat. He's on the Gavian boat. Oh, he's on the boat. Oh, where are they going to take him this time?
I think if I bought a boat, I would call it the Gavian boat.
They're taking him to they're taking him on the Gavian boat right over to USSR. They do experiments on him. Oh wow! I better inform the wonderful men on that cruise ship that Gavian's still got his phone with him.
Okay, they're taking me to the USS Zumwalt.
The what bunch of zoomers. Wow.
Wait, is this one even? Oh, is this one even finished yet?
Wow, they're jamming they're jamming spears through his head and he can't die. They're cutting his head off and he doesn't even die. They're cutting his fingers off and he doesn't even die. They're putting him underwater, doesn't even die. How are they gonna figure out how to kill this guy?
This is my special power.
Oh, they took his Gavian chip out of his Gavian brain, and now he can only speak Japanese. This is so hilarious.
Oh.
This is the kind of stuff that I watch 2 Minute Spicy Puffs for. Oh. And of course he can only speak Japanese, but he doesn't know any Japanese, so he's just screaming. Well, what a Gavian crybaby. Oh, he stinked his diaper. He stinked his diaper. Oh, they're all upset. They're all like they're going PU and waving their nose. They think he's so stinky. They're gonna take him back to America where he can do a podcast again. Oh,
he
learned some Japanese
right.
on the way.
I didn't pronounce that right. I'm very sure. I tried to use Google Translate.
We're so glad to have you back on the podcast, Gavian. So glad 2 Minute Spicy Puffs has really benefited from having Gavian back on the podcast after he got sent over to
Good day.
stop
Okay,
talking
there. I
in
think I did it
Japanese.
properly.
No one knows about Japanese yet.
It wasn't invented yet. We had to wait like a few years. Also, by the way, we are in the past where modern Japanese hasn't been invented yet, but there's like medieval Japanese. So
Yeah, that's why we're talking about the Quark president stuff.
Yeah, from like a few thousand years ago or some shit. I don't know.
I think the lady doth protest him much. You were talking about not having a stinky bum or a dirty bum, and your diaper is kind of stinky right now.
Just set me on fire then, I guess. Whatever.
I think I think it's time for the Gavian diaper change segment of the podcast.
You're gonna say this as a joke, and then there's gonna be that one guy out there who follows you that is a freak of nature.
Yep, and his name is
We're
Gavian, and he's one of the
No.
one of the biggest fans of 2 Minutes Spicy Plus, and he's on the podcast with us today. Hello, Gavian. I heard you were a fan of the podcast.
Call me back later. I'm gonna go find a gruel, Paul.
Ooh,
Gruel,
Paul McCartney, the cruelest kid on earth.
Paul McCartney.
That's what his show used to be called.
That was one of the Beatles, I think.
Yeah, Paul McCartney, the cutest kid on earth.
Yeah,
that was his thing before he joined the Beatles. He was just like a kid. He was just a kid.
Exactly.
He was just a kid, and then they made him do music. Oh, the poor kid.
Here's a $5 voucher for your troubles.
Ooh. Looks a little bit like a chocolate bar. Ooh.
For fucking Benoid CBD.
It's not a chocolate bar.
It's not. I can buy a chocolate bar if I
it's
wanted
a voucher
to.
for a chocolate bar, so I guess it's funny that it's shaped like a chocolate bar and it has the design of a chocolate bar, but also kind of, I mean, I still have to, like, take the time out of my day to go get the chocolate bar, so it's kind of just like a chocolate bar with extra steps that if anything, it lessens the value of it.
Yeah.
And I can only get one kind of chocolate bar. And you guessed it, it's brown. It's brown chocolate bar. Brown chocolate bar with
Did you ever hear
bits.
about the chocolate that's like kind of pink?
Yeah, I had some of that.
Yeah, I've had it before too. It's pretty good.
It's kind of like fruity, kind of like summery. I don't know. I don't know what is going on with that. I think it's just another thing that they're trying to do to make themselves cool. Big chocolate industry over there. Yeah. But they can miss me with that S word. They can cash me outside. How about da?
Dada.
How about dada? Hey dada. How about you cash me outside? Hey dada. Thanks dada.
Dada.
Can we go outside so you can give me some cash? Thanks dada.
I only have crumpled up $1 bills, and I only have 3 of them. But you can eat them if you want.
Thanks dada. I'm glad that you gave me cash outside. That meme was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're having that meme on as a guest today. Hello meme. Oh, it's hurting from the pointy edges.
Down.
What does he say?
I'm shutting down.
Is the meme is shutting down?
Yeah,
No,
the meme is shutting down.
No. But I used to go to that meme every single weekend Friday night with my pop.
Weekend Friday night with funking.
Get funking with Friday night. Get funking with Friday Night Funkin' on the only EB Games.
App Store.
Sorry, I was lying. The real sponsor of today's episode is EB Games.
We can have multiple sponsors.
That's true. The second sponsor of this episode is EB Games. Get friendly. That's their slogan.
Kid friendly.
No, it's get friendly. Get friendly. As opposed to GameStop's Get Mean, which is pretty scary.
Wasn't there like a third like game reselling company that
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it, but I know that their slogan had the N-word in it, which is why they got executed by the government.
Are you talking about Cock Cluster?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a blunder if I ever saw one. Kind of.
Yeah, I actually tried to go into one of their stores because I was curious about the whole thing, and they had an Xbox 360 available for like 1 cent.
Wow.
So I went over there and they didn't have any games. They just beat the crap out of me.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad David Cluster is dead from food poisoning.
Yeah, I only rated them like 3 stars out of 5 on Yelp.
I'm glad CEO David Cluster is dead from getting tangled up in a kite and electrocuted.
Yeah, he was on that one thing where the guy flew into the power line with a balloon and
that happened
stuff.
to him too, but only after he died.
Yeah,
he had a pretty.
They wanted to have him go on one more wild ride, but it was
one more wild ride with his corpse. He honestly
got more than they bargained for.
Honestly, his death was more exciting than the sum of his life. Except for when he made Cock Cluster. That was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. I would love to watch a biopic about the David Cluster, CEO of Cock Cluster.
Yeah, I think like Cock Cluster versus his death. I mean, it's kind of a toss up. I have to say. I forgot that he like one time when he was like 7, like someone put like nailed nails into his eyeballs, and everyone was really distressed about it. Like his family was, but he was like, "Oh, I like this. I like it this
I
way."
read that too. He was like, oh, sharp eyesight, more like.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool for that. He took it like a champ. Honestly, a lot of
yeah,
people on the internet are really sensitive these days, and they don't take criticism very well. But he
yeah. I
was like,
thought
he
it
was just like,
was.
he took it like a champ, and honestly, I
Yeah,
commend him
I
for
mean,
that.
it really made up for his later, like indescribably horrific racism, like, which led to the creation of like Cockluster. But I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, they still make TED
they
Talks,
still
right?
make TED Talks. Yeah, they make TED Talks every day. They make TED Talks every day.
Yeah, I heard that. I was confused because I thought maybe TED Talks got turned into TikToks, and I was scared and afraid for a second there.
Well, because the guy named Ted, he just turned into your D&D character. His name is Tick.
No, he transitioned. I mean, they transitioned. Sorry,
They star
it's kind
wiped.
of fucked.
I think
Yeah,
we should come up with cool names for when someone transitions. So they like star wipes. They stripe fade. Or some others.
they
Uh, sp-
they had they had like a glop explosion.
yeah, glop explosion. Bouncy ball. Cube
Dude,
cube rotate.
can you tell us more about your personal experience with bouncy ball?
Who?
Your
Me?
experience with bouncy balling. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna
Like
have
when it
I'm a boing. I'm just gonna boing out of here if you don't mind.
Okay. Wow, it's so impressive now that I'm all alone. I'm gonna open up this big giant box labeled open please please. I want to be open so bad. I need it.
Wow. I just turned around that box and I think it says big weird thing inside.
Well, I just opened it and this thing is very big and weird.
Wow.
I won't describe it though.
Oh my god, Gavian! I just looked on the bottom of the box. It says a big, disgusting, and dangerous thing inside. You better be careful.
Oh. Ow.
I thought you were dead for a second. You don't scare me like that. If you were dead, who's gonna run Hot Spicy Puffs? Sorry, I forgot what the name of it was.
I think you could just clone me or clone Dop or clone your parents or something.
Why do I have to? Why do I have to clone them? Why do I have to clone? They're not even dead.
It's important to them. I mean,
I
when we
mean,
first started this, you had to clone yourself and I had to clone myself,
yeah,
so
because
we
we
could
didn't
do
want to do
this.
it. We didn't want to fucking. I don't want to do this podcast.
It was like, yeah, it was like
But then
we had to do
we
a
saw
coin toss.
how good of a job the clones did, and then we were like, I want to get credit for this, and we killed
So
our
we beat them to
clones.
death with hammers.
Yeah, well,
What I did was I just like snuck up behind mine and just hit him in the back with the hammer. And he
mhm,
didn't. He just went unconscious immediately. I just finished the job a bunch of times with the hammer, so I
yeah.
didn't really get to say anything to him. But I think they're fine. What's that thing where you can like you move your body, like you can like twist your body up in like a pretzel? Like, what was that called? I actually forget.
Contortion.
Contortion. Yeah, I just did a little contortionism, and I like checked the inside of my like my butt cheek, like Rick and Morty
Hmm.
in that one episode, and I have a barcode. I think the clone. If you have a barcode, I think we might have just killed
Oh
the real.
no, I actually what I did to kill my clone was
No, no, but we're the clones.
well
We killed the
just let me
originals.
do my joke.
Okay.
What I did to kill my clone originally was I just touched her, and then because we can't occupy the same space at the same time, we just like melted together into a terrible glob, and then we just turned into one person who was stronger and had more powers. So I think I am the clone and not the clone.
I think
Um,
you're just changing the story because you're jealous.
I just changed the story because I thought I could do a funnier
You thought
one.
it'd be funny. Yeah, you thought you could do a better joke, but you failed, and you failed. You failed so hard, and it smelled so loud.
You That was because you farted, lol. Let's give a let's give a round of applause for Gavian farts. I mean Gavian farts. What
Wow.
would a podcast episode even be a 2 minute spicy puffs episode without a big fat Gavian fart? I don't think so. I mean, I'm thinking about it, and I think it would just be like an audio file. I don't know if it would be a podcast. I think
It would just be a blank,
it would.
like
I
a
think at that
null
point it would
audio
just be like
file.
an audiobook. I don't think it would. I don't think you could call it a podcast.
This is the third. That's the third sponsor, by the way. It's Audible.com.
My third podcast is third sponsor is brought to you by Gavian Farts, and
It's not true.
I mean, yes, because it is brought to us by Gavian. Because if not for Gavian Farts,
you're right.
If not for Gavian
Wait,
Farts,
I guess I might have. I think I might have got this good. I think I wasn't sure which the order we were going to do the sponsors in because I know
Gavian Farts gave us $400,000 to sponsor.
But we spent it all in 12 seconds.
We spent it all on big donuts. And
yummy.
Gavian, tell us about the Gavian flavored donut you got.
If you eat it, you die.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. It's worth it because
it's really worth it because it's so fucking awful.
What actually happened with my clone is I touched it and I got an extra life. So
yeah, I can believe though.
I believe it though. I believe it though.
I believe it, Ripley's.
I believe it, donut. This family's donuts.
If you if you could like get like any like world record thing in like the Guinness Book of World Records, what would you do? Like you could do anything.
Most jump.
All right.
Most
you do
jump.
the most jump.
Most
okay.
jump. Most biggest jump.
I mean, like you can do anything, and like if you want to achieve it, you like have the power to achieve it, like magically.
Fastest
like if you just want
wank
it, if
off.
you just want it. Yeah.
I
can only do it once.
I want to specifically get it done in the UK Guinness Book of Records, so it's called the fastest wank off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no deal.
They have to publish it even if it's like obscene.
Gavian, I think if I wanted to get the biggest, best, if I wanted to get the Guinness Book of World Records, I would want it for best podcast because I think it's deserved, and it's all thanks.
All right, it is done.
It's all thanks to change it back. I was kidding. I want to have the biggest penis cock. I want to have the biggest set of racks.
Well, that's too bad because I'm like the Guinness Book of World Records genie, and I only give him one wish instead of three.
You're the genie's Book of World Records.
I'm and you found like a copy of the Guinness Book of World Records at like the store, and you rubbed it. And I came out of it. Page is open, and I think you
misremember that. I actually got a book called The Guinea Pig's Book of World Records, and I gave it to my guinea pig, and it read it, and it got smart. And it got so smart, its brain exploded, and then it got Guinness Book of World Records for biggest guinea pig brain. I don't know why it wasn't in Guinea Pig's Book of World Records. That would have been like
to begin with, because it could already read.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it was because it was in guinea pig language.
It's just wingdings, but all the characters are guinea pigs.
It's just like there's like 4 characters, and they're all just like a guinea pig in different rotations.
It's basically like the guinea pigs are just posing to form different letters, so it's basically just O's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Gavian, I think this is a good time to bring in our guest for today. We're dialing in by radio to a Too Much Spicy Puffs hater, and her name is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No relation. This is another person, and she's a hater of Too Much Spicy Puffs, and she's calling in right now.
I think we should bring it. I think we should bring it out right now.
Okay. You're on the air.
Well.
Hello, brats. This is me.
Just to clear, your pronouns are like she, it, right?
Yeah. But
all right,
I mean,
so
you're talking to me right now, so
yeah.
I don't know why you need my pronouns unless you're talking about me behind my back. Which is something you would do on your podcast. Your stupid sicky little podcast of yours. I hate you guys so much, and let me tell you exactly why.
Is it because of the gum?
No,
the sticky gum all over it.
Well, I mean, the gum definitely was a factor, but it's not just the gum. It's also that you have the indecency to make a fancast about your own podcast, even though it stinks, and it really bogs down the quality of your jokes. Even though there wasn't none to begin with, I feel that there's negative quality now. Which,
Well, we can just edit it out if you want.
honestly, if you were trying to make a podcast with -1 funny points, you succeeded in flying colors. But as it stands, I just have to spit you out every time I see you in my cereal. I had a burnt Cheerio in my cereal today. It wasn't even a box of Cheerios, it was a box of Lucky Charms. And it was even better than listening to your podcast for 1 millisecond.
This is like the what is it, like the fucking angry video game nerd of podcasts?
I am the angry podcast nerd, and it's my duty to put bad podcasts in their place. This kid sucks. Well, not as much as your podcast, bozos. I'm gonna.
As much as I appreciate you that you're at least a little bit respectful of it. You're not like using like a slur every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's pretty. I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty cool. I think despite our differences, I think we're pretty cool. We're best friends.
I don't think I would be your best friend. I would only be best friends with someone who actually made a podcast that a rat could enjoy for more than 1 billion years.
Okay, so to clarify, you want us to.
I feel like I would only be. I feel like I would be maybe better friends with you if you could even make a podcast that a stick could listen to for in front of a frog. You know what? Angry podcast nerd, you're just a bully who thinks that it is okay to talk to people bad about their podcast. It makes them sad, but actually you're just a bully who has insecurities, feelings about themselves, and makes them sad. So you suck. You get out of here. You leave.
You make your own podcast.
I already have my own podcast. It's called the Angry Podcast Nerd. I guess you wouldn't have heard of it because you don't care. Good to hear.
Okay,
good to hear that you don't even care. And we lost her.
Okay, I think. Wait, she didn't fall in the big hole,
even
did she?
Shrek from the big Shrek swamp could be a better podcast than you.
God.
You make me feel like I'm in a tornado, sucked up into a tornado, getting smacked in the face by bad jokes and unwitty comedy.
I know what you wanted to say. I know what you wanted to say.
Makes me try to cry.
I know what you wanted to say. You were trying so hard not to say it, but I felt it. I felt your brain. I felt your brain.
Do you know what she's? I think what she's trying to say. She actually does really like the podcast, but she is so insecure about her own podcast that she thinks that she needs to talk to us about.
I think we should then.
Our podcast.
I think we should then take a listen. I think like maybe next episode we should take a listen to her podcast.
We should take a listen. You know what?
And then give some constructive criticism and maybe even some praise for it.
Angry
I think that
podcast
would be
nerd.
great.
Since you have been such a champ today, I think we're gonna listen to your podcast and on the next episode and just see how it fares to this podcast. Well, gee, that's great. I would maybe even listen to it if your podcast wasn't just a bunch of gobs of cheese stuck together by crazy glue made by a gorilla in a factory where he does not get paid. That's gonna mean... I don't know. I don't know. It might not actually be mean.
Why doesn't he get paid?
Because who would pay a gorilla for such a terrible podcast that sounds like it's just made by a globe of crystals, which has been shattered by a bad witch who does not care about anything that she does, even making a podcast. That makes sense.
Wow.
I feel like I know where she's coming from now.
I agree. I think it's I kind of see she makes a great point.
Let me tell you a story about what happened to me in Las Vegas. I was at a casino and I was served a platter of 0-minute spicy puffs, and I could tell that they were 0-minute spicy because they were just globs of goo. And I ate every single one because I'm not picky unless I'm being forced to watch a podcast that just sounds like a bunch of monkeys doo-dooing into a microphone. And then when I got home, well, I had the most disgusting stomachache of my entire life. It felt like my stomach was caving in myself and turning into a bozo of its own. It felt like I was pregnant with Edward Scissorhands with no arms or torso or head or legs and just the hands. It felt like I was giving birth to the son from Angry Mario Brothers. And when I finally And when I finally finished pooping, the IRS came to my house and told me that they were going to abduct my house with aliens, and I was going to have to leave as the aliens sucked my house into their big UFO. And that day was a million times better than the day that I listened to your podcast for 1 minute and 20 seconds.
You know what I think, Luna?
What do you think?
I think it just needs a Snickers.
I think you need a Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry.
Yeah.
I'll gladly eat a Snickers, as long as it hasn't been touched with the hands of somebody who would make a podcast so bad that it would make Gandhi turn into Gandalf, which is not even possible, by the way.
I knew you would say that. That's why I bought this little grip and claw
Oh,
thing.
no, don't do it. Don't pry my mouth open and put those Snickers inside. This is almost as bad as the one time that I listened to Tuna Spicy Puffs for 1 second with a bunch of corn in my ear, so I couldn't hear anything it said.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. The claw is touching it.
This claw... getting attacked by this claw is almost as bad as the time that I tried to listen to 2 Minute Spicy Puffs wearing noise-canceling headphones underneath 17 layers of drywall.
Is that like your drywall? I can't speak. You flustered me so bad with your hateful words I can't even speak. Now I'm just gonna go cry into a hole called the tear collection hole.
Wow. Angry Podcast Nerd really is a bully. Just trying to make Gavin cry. That's right. And I would do it all again for a delicious Snickers bar. Oh my god. She ate the Snickers bar and she's not even different. She's just the same. I think
she must be really hungry.
Her evil anger is so deep to her core that even when she eats a billion Snickers, it doesn't affect how evil she is on the inside. Eating a billion Snickers is about the opposite of what I would say about a episode of Tuna Spicy Puffs.
This is fucked up. I think we have to kick her out.
She makes me so angry that I might drool from the mouth, but I'm not going to.
I might not even watch her podcast anymore.
Well, that makes two of us. Ha ha ha. I don't watch my podcast either. Just kidding, I do, but I'm not going to do it anymore because I'm going to associate my voice with my guest appearance on the 2 Minute Spicy Puffs podcast, and it's going to make me puke my vomit out every single time it comes on air. Even now, when my own voice is coming out of my mouth, I am thinking of the time that my voice was heard on 2 Minute Spicy Puffs, and it's making me scream and scream and scream.
It's not. You haven't heard it on the thing yet. You just not. You don't have to watch the episode.
You don't have to watch the episode. We're not going to force you to watch our podcast.
We're not going to force you down. We're not going to hit you with a metal bar and strap you down and force you to listen to it with earplugs.
Sadly, watching this podcast is my job, and I mean watching crappy podcasts is my job, and I wouldn't even give that job to the person who put nails in my teeth and replaced my eyeballs with copies of
the
Smurfs on Blu-ray. I would, however, trade off this job to the co-host of the podcast 2 Minute Spicy Puffs because it feels like a fitting punishment for their hellish creation.
Wait, hold on. I can't forget your name. I'm sorry, I forget your name. Anyway,
my name is Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I am the angry podcast nerd.
Okay, John. Did the person that put the John
J-E-A-N And also important to know, Claude is spelled C-L-A-W-E-D because my Wolverine claws that I use to claw out my ears when I listen to a crappy podcast too loud.
It's a matter of the fucking FBI. Okay, did the person who did that to you with the nails, do they have like a big giant booger falling out of their nose?
Well, they might as well, given how bad their podcast was.
Hold on, let me talk to the host.
Yeah.
Hey Luna.
Yeah. What?
I think the person that assaulted John, might have been the same person that assaulted
the guy who made Cock Cluster. Yeah.
I think that might have been the same. I think that might have been the same person. I think that might be important to tell like the authorities and stuff.
Maybe.
So they can solve that.
Yeah. I thought Boogerman, if anything, Boogerman was punished for his terrible crimes.
No, they haven't caught him yet. They only know the eyewitness that the only description from the eyewitness is that it was that he had a big booger, and they then refused to say anything else about him. But I think maybe
I thought
John
they
Claude
caught
might.
him. I thought they caught him. I saw a picture of
No,
of a guy with a big booger in jail. Was that just another
that
guy
guy.
with a big? I don't think
No,
it's
yeah,
possible.
that guy was framed.
I don't think it's possible that there could be two people with that big of a booger.
I don't know. I mean,
I
it's
think it's
still
more possible that there's two people with that big of a booger than it is for somebody to make a podcast so bad that it makes everybody who watches it pants shrivel up and turn into shirts.
We're trying to have a serious discussion about
I have a
break in
I
the
have a
criminal
radio
case.
personality to upkeep, you bozo. Not that you would know anything about that Gavian of 2
That's
Minutes
fair.
Spicy Puffs fame. If you could even call it fame, I would rather call it disgusting torture. Wow, that really
Wow.
did that. That was really I mean, honestly, a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme's insults are pretty weird, but that was a big burn on your fame,
They
which
really-
you could even call torture.
Yeah, that's why whenever the podcast
That's why they call me
isn't
the
being-
queen of podcast critical podcasts. That might be why I had to trudge through all of that dirty, yucky mud, which I call 2 Minutes Spicy Puffs. And came out the other end covered in disgusting filth, only to come out at the other end talking to you on your
You should
podcast.
take a shower. You should take a shower about that.
Oh yeah, and I bet you're gonna ask me to clean my bum bum too. I can't believe they made you a doctor. You can't even operate on a ham. Oh my god, she's coming for the jugular.
Oh
Yeah,
my lord!
something that
I
you
can't
would
even.
never even be able to do because you can't hold a scalpel. Because you don't even have opposable thumbs. You're a bird. How disgusting could that even be? Very disgusting, in fact, because I just noticed that you're disgusting and gross. Wow.
Wow.
Jesus. Honestly, I think her podcast might be better than ours. I'm really happy about the segment in our podcast where we got her over as a guest star. That was really brave of us.
Yeah.
Are you seriously complimenting your own podcast right now? I guess I should also criticize my own guest appearance. I think my insults were about as funny as a donkey trying to talk to a clam.
That's
Don't
pretty.
be so
That's
hard
pretty
on
harsh.
don't be so hard
Yeah.
on yourself, angry podcast nerd.
Have you tried doing constructive criticism of your podcast instead of just regular criticism?
Yeah,
Vanilla
like that one
criticism?
time I tried to construct an entire city out of ham hocks, and it turned out having more structure than my own podcast.
I think you have an obsession with ham hocks.
I mean, they're so delicious. They're the only thing that I can truly love.
That's true.
Wow.
Maybe we should just stop being a podcast because you seem like you don't like a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, you know
but
what? I think we're gonna let the angry video. We're gonna let the angry podcast nerd go. I think she needs a little bit of time to cool off and get ready for her next podcast. Which isn't that going to be about isn't that going to be about the Big Chungus podcast? No.
Yeah.
I changed my mind after thinking about it for a little bit. I think the Big Chungus podcast is actually one of the best podcasts ever created. Wow.
Well, that's some pretty high praise.
Especially coming from me, the angry podcast nerd. Signing out. Oh, wow.
Finally, I can breathe now because they've been like they had their hand clasped around my throat this whole time. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to frighten anybody. But I was kind of
I saw that. I saw her hand just like crawled out, like gooped out through the phone and just attached to your big neck. That was terrifying. But
I don't think we should invite her back again unless it's funny.
It might be funny.
That's true.
I think it's hilarious. Yeah, I think what we should do next podcast is we should just re-upload one of her podcasts and upload it to our own.
You know what? That sounds like a good idea.
I think Tuna Spicy Puffs is at its highest point when it's just stealing content from other creators.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Did I tell you about that? Because what I was doing was I was uploading all of your art to my Twitter as if it was my art. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. It was so beautiful. It was so cute. It was so awesome. It was the most amazing thing ever. XD, exclamation point 11. Yeah.
What would you do if I actually did that just right now as a joke? Just started doing that.
Well, I just said I think it was amazing and awesome. So
Oh, that's
I don't
true.
know. Maybe you're not listening to me. It was weird. Anyways,
Maybe.
just a thing that I just noticed, just out of nowhere. I just noticed that you're maybe kind of like a cunt. But just kind of like a weird thing that I noticed, just like out of the blue. I'm a
I
kind of a spontaneous personality like that.
Yeah, I'm a doc. I can explain that. I'm a doctor. I
You're a
have a
doctor? Oh yeah,
I
you
have
did.
a disorder.
Oh yeah, I remember you talked about that. It was cool also that John Claude Van Damme, Angry Podcast Nerd, was just me with inverted colors. That was also cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
With like a
I
dark
mean,
aura emanating from her. That was very interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does she even have a co-host?
I think she does have a co-host. What was it?
Why wasn't he here?
I don't know. Probably too busy having sex with women. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Well, I guess we're
But
gonna have to.
that's
With that, I guess we're gonna have to move on to our final segment. Talking about how good the podcast is ending.
yeah,
I think Tuna Spicy Puffs has some of the strongest conclusions to their podcast I've ever heard.
yeah.
I mean,
I think that's
sorry, I'm dying. Sorry, I got lung cancer. I'm gonna have to die soon. Oh my god, are you? Did you just revert through time and now you're a caveman?
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm dying of lung cancer. Gavian's a caveman. How much more wacky could this get? Oh, I'm skateboarding. Okay. Okay.
Blood farts. Do blood farts. Evil spirits.